of May, and I'm really happy to have you back here in this wonderful morning briefing show where I can share my insights, my wisdom, my knowledge, my experience with you about trading. I'm involved in trading for 23 years now, and it's a long time and a long and hard way in my bag. And but this is what I can share with you, that if you're strong enough, you can and you will be successful in trading. So thanks that you share your precious life with me this morning again. So we share this, we stream this show live on YouTube at the same time here from Zoom. You will find a button in the right corner. You can click on the subscribe channel. You will never miss an episode from this morning briefing show, all from Paul and Jens webinars. They have their webinars on Wednesday and Friday afternoon. So on YouTube, I can see already the first members and participants this morning. So who is with me? It's Anka. Good morning, Janish, Andrew, Andre, AT, and Ute. Wonderful. Good morning. Nice to have you here. Okay, so let's open the chat. Let's open and let me stream my share with share my screen with you this morning. So that's not so here. Who is with me? Mihai, good morning. Simeon, nice to have you here. So Charles, good morning. William, Raquel, Joel, and Yannicka, good morning. Happy Friday too. So Alison Coulter made a very interesting quote, and this is my quote of the day. Volatility is the tendency for prices to change unexpectedly. And as we could see, for example, yesterday or 2 days ago in Swiss franc, for example, volatility comes unexpectedly into the market. So should be afraid about volatility? No, of course not, because we need, as trend followers, we need volatility, because without volatility, there is no movement, no correction. And as you know, as a trend follower, we need movements and corrections. But sometimes the prices changes very unexpectedly. So, and what is really interesting, Tina, good morning. And what is really interesting, there's so many people around the world, like Mrs. Alison Coulter, for example, they don't talk about support or resist. They don't talk about any special numbers or head, shoulder, head, shoulder formation or kind of lines or indicators. No, what they use for kind of words, prices to change. They use volatility, but most important, they use the topic and the word price, because real traders, they catch the topic. They know what we trade in trading, what we do in trading is just we trade prices and no products. That's most important thing. Hartmut, good morning, and Bladen also. Okay, what's the economic news this morning? We have from UK, the numbers are already out. Consumer confidence falls to record low as cost of living crisis intensifies. Then home sales cool amid higher rates, record prices, second update from USA. And from USA also jobless claims up to 21K to 218K in May, calendar week 14. That's the survey. That's really interesting. So what's the upcoming events for today? It's already over. UK monthly retail sales, it's over. And what we expect at this afternoon at 4 o'clock is in European Onion, the FCCI Flash Consumer Index. This is what we expect today. So in case you want to be well informed, I can recommend our channel on Telegram. You will find the link right now in the chat and on YouTube also. And then you are well informed about every webinar or what are trading and investment news events, something like this. So a lot of content. So, and I want to invite you to our webinar this afternoon. and it's at 3 o'clock German time and 2 o'clock London time. And this is the webinar Meet the Traders. I'm not sure if the host, it's Paul or Jens, but absolutely worth to watch it and to join it. Meet real traders this afternoon. Okay. So let's come to trading. We have a lot of things to talk about today. So I want to apologize in advance that I'm not able to talk to answer all your questions today, because we have so many trades running that we have to manage our trades first. So what about DAX 10 minutes? That's the trade in daily chart, so kind of day trading, and not daily chart in 10 minutes. It's kind of day trading. I want to start next week when I'm home again with the DAX 10 minutes too. So where we are, yeah, we hit the point of control exactly in DAX 10 minutes. And since that time, by the way, we came from the price zone very expensive. We went back to a normal price, and now we are on the way back to an expensive price again. So how the price did it? Yes, of course, with the normal trend. So we start in this trend here at 14,186 points. Then we had a lovely trend. So by the way, yesterday, that was a false breakout here, which means the trend kept stable and valid. And in case you have learned something in this morning briefing show, then you know that you can work with a soft stop, and then you are not out and you were still in when the price went really down. And there was unfortunately no trend continuation because no close. So therefore, unfortunately, sometimes it's like that in trend trading, that you went out here with this move. At the same time, yeah, by the way, you made money, yeah, because you have a lovely trend. And I guess I'm not sure how much point we had here. Let's check it. It's here 15,186, and this is 929. So round about 200 pips roundabout. You could make with this trend if you follow the trend. And at the same time, you were able to open yesterday at this price, 13,871, exactly in the second trend arm at the point 2. You were able to enter the price again, and now you could follow. And now the stop loss, soft stop, by the way, is exactly here at the last 0.3. So, and if you work with a soft stop, then you know it's kind of alarm, for example, and you don't have to go out immediately. So just wait if you have a close below the last 0.3, and maybe the real stop loss could be at the previous 0.3. And at the last confirmed 0.3, there you can have a soft stop. And then you wait until you have a real close, not just a spike, a real close. You can see without glasses, yeah? Then you can trail the hard stop to the tail of this candle, which triggers and had a close below the last 0.3. And then the market will decide when you can get out. Okay, that's about next 10 minutes. So you see, there is no false, there's no fatal trade. There's no missed trade. Just the last days, there was, if I can see it right, yeah, there was no really missed trade. That here was one, yeah, here was one. But at the same time, the long position were still running. So, and yesterday in the morning briefing show where I said you can open or set a pending order here on the way up, yeah, then you were not in because the price dropped down. So there was no missed trade. And you see trend following is a very, very profitable system if you have the power to follow the trend. So let's come to our focus charts. And of course, we start with Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is one of the less cryptos. They kept very stable, but they actually the price remains below 30,000. And notice my private opinion about trend following, because if you have a check a daily chart, then you know in daily chart, not 4-hourly chart, one higher, one time from higher daily chart, then you know the point of control is at $9,800. So you owe me something once we get down to $9,800 but there is the point of control for the moment. Let's see what the price will do. Okay, so for us, there's nothing to do because the short trend is still running and there is no uptrend on the right side of the chart. Okay, let's come to Dow Jones. And Dow Jones is still in a downtrend. And you saw yesterday, last 2 days, a really, really wonderful trend continuation here to the lower side. The trend we are continuing. So the last stop loss is here, the last point 32,774. And actually, we remain at this low level here. There is nothing to do for the moment. Let's come to the DAX 40. In DAX 40, we have a broken uptrend, by the way. And at the same time, there is still the downtrend valid, but because there was a break. So unfortunately, there was a break here. And so actually on the right side of the chart, there is no trend. Actually, no uptrend, of course. You know, point of control is quite far away on the upper side, but actually there is no trend on the right side of the chart. So actually we can do nothing for the moment. So let's come to gold. Now finally, yes, in gold we have a new uptrend, if I can see that right. Yes, there is a new uptrend. By the way, the downtrend is still, oh my gosh, wait a moment. That was the last 0.3. Yes, the downtrend is broken, which means there is the last 0.2. So one first trend arm, and now we are going to the second trend arm. So we are waiting for the end of this move and then maybe a correction, and then we can go long in gold. I'm quite sure this will not happen today, but maybe next week. So, and finally, let's come to the fifth top instrument. It's Euro USD, and there we have an open position in Euro USD. And I told you yesterday, and I hope you are part of it, because actually we are in profit with 70 pips. So what's the trend? Yeah, we start at the last 0.3, the last 0.2. And that was my first trend arm. What is second one? Then we were in the correction. I told you yesterday morning, please keep it on the watch list. So, and then we had two balance candles, and there was the entry. So actually, let's see, we are working on a clear trend continuation. Yes, we had already, which means, yes, we have a new 0.2. There's just one balance candle. It's not really a correction, but that does mean that your hard stop is below the initial 0.3, and at the last 0.3 you can work with a soft stop. Or if you are not so sure and not so confident like me, then you can trail, of course, your hard stop to the last confirmed 0.3. But if you want to be a smart trader, then you know sometimes they spike at the last 0.3 and then they are not going out. They're just to trick the market, and then you are out, and then you don't find a re-entry maybe. So it's a good idea to work with a soft stop. As long as you feel yourself comfortable and as long as you swim in your comfort zone, everything is fine. Yeah, just follow the trend. Let's see what we can do there. Yeah, the point of control in Euro USD is up. Let me see. It's a little bit higher, yes. 113.20. Point of control is 130.20. So we have enough space to go up. there is not a kind of obstacle on the way because point of control is quite big. So the tendency is really high that we go back to the point of control. Let's see. So that was the 5 top instruments, ladies and gentlemen. And before we come to our running trades, I want to ask you the Friday question. And my Friday question is always the same. Did you reach your goals this week? So yes, I finally did. Or no, I did not. I worked so hard. Or I had no goals this week. That's the worst case ever if you have no goals, but because you need goals. So make your choice. Let's come to the running trades. We start with Australian dollar, Swiss franc. So we are around about 100 pips in profit and we had 1 loss. Because you know, this is what I try to teach you. You must be prepared for every single trend. So why we had a loser, why we are in the profit zone, of course, the green one was in a second trend on, therefore we open a trade on the way up to continue. At the same time, the correction we're running in its own trend in the second trend. I mean, there was no break, there was a fake, which means we opened deep in the correction of the red one, the same position, and look what happened. The long trend is broken right now, so we went out, we had a loser. We betrayed the stop loss a little bit, and at the same time the short actually is running. So and now there is a bit small correction but not a trend continuation yet. So let's see what happens next. We just have to read, not to interpret and not to predict. Yeah, we are not prediction of the price, we are follower of the price. And this is a cool strategy which requires a lot of discipline. If you have a big lack of discipline, then you will have a lot of problems in trading. But if you have a strong why and you are willing to progress yourself, to improve yourself, then you have a big chance to become successful in trading. Next one, Australian dollar, Japanese yen. So we have a short position, and the short position is a bit in loss because we were speculating of this trend continuation. And by the way, there was a trend continuation. And actually, let's see, this is here. So the stop loss, my stop loss is the purple line at less 0.3. So let's see what's happened now. Because there is a trend continuation, I don't go out. Yeah, if then I will have a loser at the last 0.3 because I'm a trend follower and the trend breaks at the last 0.3 and not before. But I have the chance to equalize it roundabout, to say it in this way, because the correction is running in its own trend. So therefore, I have a long position, not open yet, but I'm prepared if the price will go up and will continue in the green trend, which is actually the correction, yeah, then I'm a part of it. So let's see. Australian US dollar, we are a little bit in profit because we are still the third time now. We are speculating the third time now that we see a trend continuation. The first parts were failure because why? Yeah, I have to cut the possible loss. Because, you know, I'm always on the right side of the chart. And if I can see I don't have a trend continuation because just fake breakouts, which means I have to cut the loss. I did it a second time because I'm on the right side of the chart. I have to act on the right side of the chart. So now in a look back, we could say, yeah, why didn't you leave the point of the stop loss at the last 0.3? Then you have no losses. That's an improper thinking because you act not in a look back. You have to act in reality on the right side of the chart. And there you have to make the decisions. So in a look back, yeah, there we always are profitable all the time. There is so easy to say, oh, there I will get in and there I stop. No, we are acting on the right side of the chart. So who cares? If you calculate your money, everything is fine. So let's see what happens next. So Euro USD, as you know, we have a long trend actually, and the long trend we are still in, but the correction, unfortunately, is working in its own downtrend. So therefore, I was speculating on the trend continuation to the downside, but actually it's not working. Yeah, but my stop loss is at last 0.3. And I don't care because I have a long trend also open. And if we continue to the long side, then I'm happy also. Euro Japanese yen. We have still 2 trades open. By the way, be careful. The long trend basically is broken. But we have the big candles. Therefore, I just trade my hard stop to the last low, yeah, where the trend broke. But on the right side of the chart, there was a downtrend. And there I opened the position too. So I'm in profit with 2 different trends in the opposite direction, but both are in profit. So what could happen? I don't know. And by the way, I don't care. Because if the price is going up, then I'm a happy guy because I didn't out. I'm not out. I'm still in for the long position. Yeah. And if the price is going down, yeah, then I have a profitable trade here and also a profit on the short side. That's smart trading. But this you can do if you follow every single trend without prediction, without any kind of fundamental analysis. Who cares about euro? Who cares about Japanese yen? Everything what happens, every opinion, every fundamental analysis leads to what? To an order. And the trader sends 2 numbers to the stocks, to the exchange. The price where he wants to buy or sell, and the amount of the contract size, no more nor less. The exchange never asks why. So any analysis can explain how the market works. Any analysis can explain what happens here. But money you will make with buying and selling. And for buying and selling, you need a proven, profitable strategy. And this is the Dow How trading, that's Dow How strategy and trend following. So in both you can learn when you follow the morning briefing show, or if you grab my course, Logic course on my homepage, for example. Okay, next one is Euro New Zealand dollar. And in Euro New Zealand dollar, we have still 2 trends actually. So the long trend actually is still running and the short is also running. And here I open at the point 2 for the possible short side. And here we're circling around my entry, but I'm also still long with 890 pips in profit for the moment because I don't know which trend will continue on the right side. And by the way, I don't care. Euro USD we talked about, British pound, Japanese yen. We are a bit in profit here with the short side because that is the downtrend, and I opened in the 3rd trend arm because I know the point of control is quite far on the lower side. But now I must be prepared for the long side also, because you can see this here on the right side of the chart. We have an uptrend, which is the correction of the downtrend actually. Yeah, but it's a trend and it's the 2nd trend arm. And I don't know which trend will continue. So I don't have to interpret, I don't have to predict, I just have to act based on my Dow How strategy. And if you ask what is Dow How, it's the perfect know-how about the Dow approach. And Dow approach is really simple. Trade out of the correction when the price is cheap and sell it as much as possible, as expensive as possible. So how expensive can a price be? You will never know unless you follow the trend, then you know at the end. So be prepared in case the price will go up, then we have a long position also. Yeah, British pound, New Zealand dollar. We have a lovely trend and the trend is this one. So we're starting here That's the first trend arm. Then we have the second move. Here we go. We talked about yesterday. That's the second trend arm. And you see, perfect. 2 balance candles, entry above, and now we are a bit in profit. 65 pips, who cares? So by the way, the hard stop is at the previous 0.3. And if you are strong enough, you can work with not with a soft stop, no, because there is no trend continuation right now. There is unfortunately, no trend continuation, which means we can do nothing for the moment. Yeah. But if the price is not continuing, and if the price will go down a bit with a blue trend candle to the lower side, then I will trail my stop close to this candle then, because then I have to cut the loss because it's my entry arm. Yeah, and in my entry arm, I can cut a possible loss. But as long as the strategy is still working and valid, I should not miss the re-entry, because it's nothing more annoying that you cut the loss and after a couple of times you look back and you see, it's still working and I was not a part of it. That's annoying. So don't do this. Cut the loss, but don't miss the re-entry, because you don't know what happens next. It's just for the moment, cut the loss for the moment, because also the downtrend can still continue. You don't know yet. So be prepared. So we have New Zealand dollar, Canadian dollar, and wonderful, you know. So the downtrend, by the way, is still running. And the downtrend is secured at the last 0.3, which is the purple line on the upper side. So now on the right side, there was a downtrend, an uptrend, sorry. We had a correction here and an entry after this balance candle and this changing of the color. We made an entry. We are a little bit in profit. The stop loss, hard stop, the broken nose is on the initial 0.3. And with the purple line on the lower side, I work with a soft stop to the upper side. So let's see. I'm really excited what happens next. By the way, the point of control in New Zealand dollar, Canadian dollar is really far away on the upper side. So maybe we saw a final turnaround on the lower side, and maybe we'll find a new wonderful, lovely trend. We will see. And finally, last but not least, our wonderful and lovely US dollar, Japanese yen, we are still in profit. The uptrend is still running, and the purple line on the lower side means there the trend will break. Therefore, there is my stop for the long position. And I also have a short position for the short side. There was the correction in the second trend arm. I opened at the here, and the hard stop, the broken nose, is at the previous, actually the confirmed 0.3, because there actually is not a trend continuation. It's just fakes here on the lower side. But I have an alarm here at this possible 0.3 with a question mark, actually, because this, if the downtrend will continue, then this will become the new 0.3. So, but as long as I don't have a trend continuation, yeah, then I will cut a possible loss. Yeah. The point of control in US dollar, Japanese yen is, let's see, much way down. It's down at 113.68. So therefore, you must be prepared for the short side also, because the price is much way expensive for US dollar, Japanese yen. So, and as you know, the point of control is a kind of guarantee that the price will come back to this point of control. Because there's just one exception. When the point of control swifts to another price, but then you can see it on this indicator of the market profile. When the volume increases, yeah, then you can see it, but actually nothing happens. So therefore, be prepared for the short side also. Yeah, that's really, really important. Okay, just quick about copper. We talked about yesterday. Lovely possible entry yesterday. I hope you are a part of it because we talked about yesterday. Canadian dollar, Japanese yen. Be prepared for both sides, long and short, as we talked about yesterday. Canadian dollar, Swiss franc, I just want to show you we made profit 402 pips. Yeah, and now we have a downtrend. Wait for the correction, also on the watch list. And British pound, Swiss franc, we had unfortunately a loss because the trend were not continuing. And yeah, we had high candles there and a loss at the point 3. Okay, so let's see. Any indicators or any questions, whatever there is, please ask me about my homepage. So we had the question of the day, and the question of the day was, did you reach your goals this week? 52% yes, said I did finally, and just only 32% yes. No, I did not. I'm really happy, guys, really happy. So the direction is relatively clear. Yeah, and just 16%, 4 from 25 says no, I had no goals this week. So guys, I want to say thank you, and I want to say goodbye here from Bangkok. That was the last day here. Tomorrow I go home. I try to go home tomorrow. That's the last session here from Bangkok. On Monday, if everything is going well, then I will welcome you next week from my home office in Germany again. And thanks for making this wonderful last 5 weeks here in Bangkok with me. I wish you a wonderful weekend, and I want to say thank you for everything. Thanks to Admirals that we can do this every morning. I wish you a wonderful weekend, lovely, all the best for you. And as always, have courage and be kind. And may the force of the rules be with you. See you.